You know, stuff like that. Nothing that messes with items. But we've killed enough zombies at this point that I have 9 katanas laying on my bed. They're all broken because I used them. But we have 9 katanas in our bed. Oh! And don't forget that this is Dr. Ellen Ennis, not just Ellen Ennis. We do have our doctorates. We have earned them. I am finding those katanas impaled in the bodies of my enemies. And by that I mean in zombies. It's just, once you've survived over 2 months, katanas become available for drop. And if you kill enough zombies, you find katanas. Yeah, I am noticing the frames chugging a little bit, when especially when I zoom in and out. So, people mentioned that they actually were like, oh, you know, when we turn on the blood stuff, yeah, I can see frame rate drops now. Which would make sense. Like, you can see this whole place is stained from how many zombies we've killed here. Like, you know, stains all along here. So, we were talking about earlier different settings, and someone asked Mr. Lamprey to turn on the blood decals. Oh yeah, that's very noticeable performance difference. Like, very noticeable. I was getting some chunky frames around that gas station. Hey, zombie. Oh, you're making me damage my car. Come on. I don't want to kill the zombie because I want it to count towards my kill count, and if I run it over, it doesn't count. So instead, we're just going to bang up our car and make it not as good. Just what we need. Alright, one more zombie and the hood's gone, and then the engine will go right after it, so this car's just about done. You know what, actually? I'm gonna take this car back home. It served us well, but I think it's time we give this car a break. Gotcha. Yeah, well, I'll have to experiment with it, because I used to have it on all the way, and then there was just one run we were going where the performance started to get, like, really not great. So we turned it off. Because a lot of people have reported that's a performance issue. So I think this car down here was in good shape. So I'll take this for a while. It's not going to tow much, but, you know. Wait, did this have its window? Were you one missing your window? You are. You're missing a front left window. That is fine, because I happen to have myself an extra window right here. So if we just go to your windows... Oh, I need to grab the screwdriver. Grab our tools and that out of the vehicle here. Put them in this car, because basically we're switching cars for the time being. We've been using that station wagon for a long time, and it's gotten pretty roughed up. Because the more you drive long ranges, the more likely you are to bang stuff into it and all that kind of thing. Okay, and I don't believe off the top of my head it cares, like I thought it was just front windows all it cared about. If it does care, then whatever. And just like that, we're going to have a car in really good shape. 360 horsepower isn't bad. How big was your gas tank? Oh, you got a big gas tank. All right, yeah, you're a winner. Okay. So, just to let people know, I don't believe the update's come out yet, but there is an update coming that, one of the things we mentioned in the stream a number of times before is you can drink directly from bodies of water, like lakes and rivers and all that. Those days are coming to an end. The next update will make it so that will get you sick. So if that's been part of your strategy, it's time to adjust your strategy. I did figure for a while that they were probably going to change it at some point, but it had been left that way for so long I was uncertain. But with their update saying, yeah, we're gonna, make that not safe. That's the PSA. The drinking from the river using your hands is not going to be a viable option for long-term survival anymore. Yep. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, for most people, it'd be like, wait, you're allowed to do that? Like, that's a thing you can do just in general? I never filled up the tires, because it seems to be pulling to the side. But for some people, that was just a normal strategy. Hooking up your, the rain barrels to your sink, I believe should still work. They didn't say anything about it. Oh yeah, they got a lot of good stuff in there. They've got multiple things they're doing to improve the performance of the game, especially in bigger cities. They're going to, massive adjustments to, foraging. I haven't gone through all those details myself, but all of it sounds good. People with different professions will have a better chance of foraging things related to their profession. So far as item category and what areas you're in. So, in theory, a firefighter would have a better chance of finding stuff in the city and be more likely to find, weapons, and that would be my guess. I don't have a verification of that data, but that would be my guess. Whereas someone who's, an outdoorsman or something would have a better chance of finding stuff out in fields and woods. Depth and Dread asks, do you have any experience with modding? I mean, do you mean making mods or using mods? Because, I have used plenty of mods, and I have tinkered with making a mod that, I have a mod that works, but, with the mod I've been working on, it's kind of just, something for myself. Okay, what are you trying to get the answer for? Because it's how different mods interact. Unfortunately, people really won't be able to answer because you'd have to have intimate knowledge of how both mods work and all that. And no one's probably going to have that information because it'd have to be someone who's worked on both mods. I haven't found anyone who has said anything about this, but Brita's armor mod does not spawn anything. Unfortunately, I wouldn't know. I haven't used Brita's in any meaningful amount. I feel like to get the answer you're looking for, Depth, you're going to have to reach out to the people who do Brita's mod themselves. Like, I think that's the one that it will have to be them. Then unfortunately I don't know. I don't know what to tell you then. Because, like, unless you have someone else who's very specifically having that problem, I can't think of how else you'd find out. Oh, right, and the prediction is over because we have survived our sleep. And how many points did you put on Risk Wixelbeak? Was it like 104,000 or something? I didn't like look at the breakdown, but you put in a lot of points from what I understood. And I was gonna say I would believe it because those points went to 100,000 instantly. I mean, don't take bad gambles. And don't gamble what you can't afford to lose. Like, if you go to a race and one person's like an athlete in their prime and the other one's like struggling to breathe, maybe bet accordingly. To be fair, a lot of my deaths have been related to the helicopter, throwing us off balance and, you know, that snowballing. But yeah. Those weird flexes aren't going to earn themselves. Well, maybe they do. Yeah. Yeah, Whistlebeak was saying, I put almost all my points because it entices people to gamba. I mean, it works. And if you're going to have to gamble and, like, give into that kind of temptation and all that, doing it with meaningless internet points, probably the place to do it. Versus points that are either A, money themselves, or a substitution of money. I.e., the really shady practice of when you go to use some type of gambling thing where you have to take your cash and turn it into their cash. That way it's much harder to keep track of how much you're actually spending. Feel free to think of whatever microtransaction heavy game you would like to think of. There are many who do that. And it's entirely to make it so you don't realize how much money you're spending until you check your bank account later and go, oh my god, where'd my money go? It's not that I've never gambled. The way I approach gambling, because there's like these little cruise ships in the area that you can go out on. It's a little gambling boat, all that. It's you go, okay, I'm gonna get to go on this boat. They provide food and drink. So what am I paying for this night out? Like, am I paying 20 bucks? Am I paying 40 bucks? What am I paying for the night out? And that's your limit. You don't bring more money than that. That's your limit. Because if you go into it saying, I am donating 20 bucks to the house, you know, and I get to ride in your little boat and eat your snacks, watch your entertainment, cool. When the 20 bucks is gone, so is the gambling for the night. And if I happen to come out ahead at the end of the night, excellent. I just assume that money, whatever money bringing to the boat that night, like, is going to not be there. Yeah, and it's fair. Like I've known people who have had like, whether it's a direct family member or an extended family member, they've had that person who has a very, very serious problem, like no impulse control kind of thing, and just ruins themselves with like betting and gambling. And I can totally understand, especially people in those situations going, yeah, I don't like gambling. It's like, it's fair. Like, I wouldn't like gambling either in your shoes. And just saying, like, I'm not someone who gets super excited about gambling or anything. But that's the reason I approach it by, this is what I'm donating for this. If I come out great, just don't go in with any expectation of walking away with any of your money. Like, if your approach to gambling is ever, I'm going to win big and that's what's going to justify everything, you need to not be gambling. Like, the house always wins. That's just how it is. The house will always win. The house would not continue to exist if the house did not win. You're just hoping you're the one who is the one who doesn't lose compared to everyone else, but statistically speaking, you're gonna lose. Yeah, if you're going into the gambling thinking, this is how I'm going to get out, like, this is how I'm going to fix whatever problem, that isn't, like, gambling isn't going to be the solution for you. Like, yes, technically there's that long shot chance that you are the lucky one, but I mean, you're never the lucky one. Yep, casinos are very much in the, we have done the calculation, we know the exact rate at which you will win and lose statistically. We know that we have set it up so that we have a very distinct advantage over you. And that in the end of the day, we will be the ones making the profit, not the collective that is you. And you're just hoping the exception, you're the exception. Yeah, it is interesting that they've reached that point. That they've gotten to the point where they're like, if you're a statistical anomaly that you're winning too much, they just basically assume you're up to no good, and that you're out the door. Probably should have gotten more weapons while we're back home. Oh well, we're here. We'll just keep going. Plus, you never know when one will be like, hey, how do you feel about a crowbar? Or how do you feel about a katana? Or something nice. Let's see. Wispeak says, accumulate 50 Luciferum and 30 Go Juice. The day draws close. The pawns are going to party. And it is a party that will have consequences. Yep, now I've also seen that where it's like, if you win big, they'll try and convince you to hang out the casino more, and then if you do hang out the casino more, then more than likely you will end up gambling more, which means that money you made off of them, they'll slowly get back little by little. And they'll try and convince you to, you know, do higher stakes stuff, all that kind of thing. Because they know over time they will win. It's just chipping away at you. Like, the only way you win at the casino is you walk up, you get lucky once, and then you leave. And you never come back. And, don't count on it. And, like, I've known those people who, they'll go to, you know, they'll go to hang out with friends, it'll be at the gambling boat or whatever, you know, they'll be like, alright, well, I'm gonna put like 20 bucks on this. Oh, I won. Okay, I'm done gambling for the night. And that's just it. They got their one hand. They doubled the money they brought in. They go, yep, I won. I'm ahead. No reason to keep playing. If I play more, I'll lose it, so stop here. Yeah, if I go for that stab, we're getting hit. Yep. Yeah, but that's not a bad attitude to have. Like I said, the way I look at gambling is just, if I'm paying for the entertainment and everything, I see like the $20 or whatever, it's like, this is what I'm paying for my entertainment. And that only works in certain stuff that you get in for free and all that kind of stuff. At which point, like, you don't feel bad. It's like, oh, I lost the 20 bucks. Well, I paid $20 for, you know, some shows, some entertainment. Sure, I'm not upset about that. But, like, you don't use the ATM. You don't bust out your credit card at any point during the night. It's like, that's what you paid. That was your donation for the hospitality and entertainment. Like, I can't tell you the number of business, like, hey, here, let us give you this card. You can tie your credit card to it, so you don't have to have the inconvenience of having to go and constantly show your card and ID and all that kind of stuff. And like, no, absolutely not, no. I do not want my credit card in your system. I know how software works. I know how broken it gets. Yeah, and I think like that's not particularly bad. Like I've known a number of people who what they'll do for Christmas is they'll get like the bingo lottery tickets for the kids, or not necessarily the kids. That's probably not great. But like they'll get the bingo lottery tickets for people. You know, it's a cheap gift or whatever. It's like, you get to have, 15, 20 minutes of entertainment out, like scratching it off, looking through everything. So I don't think that's bad. It's more the concern of like people who you know, they go to the casino and what starts at like $5 becomes $100, becomes $1,000, and then they get home and they go, where did my money go? And the casino's in there counting its cash. Oh yeah. And don't get me wrong, there's times like I certainly, especially when I was younger and the regular bar type going person, I would certainly open a tab, but I was very mindful of my spending where it's like each one of these is $5. That drink is $12. Like I'd keep a mental tab of how much I owed. But yeah, I know how dangerous it is in those cases where you just you don't even realize how much you spent, it's just all gone. Alright, let's do a lap through the trailer park again. Because of that helicopter, we've had a bunch of zombies around, so let's just walk around, see what zombies we see, get rid of them. Rinse and repeat, and then we'll go back towards the factory direction. I'm suddenly remembering I shouldn't do that, because my first order of business should be I need to clear to the storage units. That way I've got my exit covered. Because it's always what you want to do first, is make where you're going, you're out, get that handled first, then start clearing. And we had hordes brought on by the helicopter between us and that storage unit we sleep in, so let's deal with that real quick. And I mentioned this before, but generally I try to avoid skipping hordes. I generally won't go for like the idea of trying to sneak around. And the reason for that is if I kill all the zombies between me and my destination, and I run into trouble at my destination and I have to retreat, then there's no big problem. The zombies behind me are already dead. So, sure, some zombies may have gotten back into the path. It shouldn't be that many. Versus if I'm sneaking along to a destination, and then I arrive at that destination, and things go wrong and I have to back out. Now I have all those zombies behind me and I can't sneak past them anymore, so now it becomes a situation of more and more and more zombies piling on you. So I'm generally a fan of kill the zombies. If they're dead, they can't see me. Oh, there's a live one there I didn't see. That's fine, we'll just ruin this car too. We're not allowed to have nice things. I was not expecting to see zombies inside here. That's fine. I'm still just gonna drive along here, up this way. Head out towards the back area where we don't have to worry about too many zombies coming from the side because there's no entryways up there. And just start working through the zombies. That gives us a little time to gain some stamina. Alright, there's another shotgun here. No bullets in either, so I don't care. And that zombie's been in there forever. We just let them stay there, banging on their door. Someday they'll get out. Alright, we'll see how many more we got out this way. We're nowhere near sleepy yet, so it's fine. Like I said, we just back up while we're stabbing. That's mostly so if I were to just miss the zombie, I'm already moving back. And once I get down to one zombie, I'll demonstrate why that's so helpful. So if I'm moving back, if you watch, the zombie will try and grab. Nope. Try again. Try again, zombie. Try. And nope. As long as I'm still moving back and you've got nimble of like 2 or 3, you can just not have to worry about them grabbing you so long as you don't stop to stab, or so long as they're not coming at an angle or from behind you or something. But like straight back away from them, their grabs will just miss. So that's the reason I want to be backing up when I'm stabbing, is I'm already moving backwards. I'm already having the good chance of just stepping right out of range of their attack before they even finish it. Okay, so we did kill the horde up there. I don't see a horde over here. There was a horde around back that I'm going to try and draw out. And the exception is when I'm going for the execution move. You have to stop moving for that. So yeah, so we got this big horde down here. I do kind of want this big horde to draw their attention, to get them around here. That one as well. Still doing pretty good in our drowsy and all that. Yeah, a lot of hordes got drawn up to the fence line, but they can't... Their pathing isn't very good, so they don't know how to find their way around to me. I think that one is. Yeah, and I won't end up going in this building anytime soon. Lots of corners, I keep drawing zombies through the building. I will just end up making noise to try and draw zombies through it without actually going into it. There we go, that's what I was expecting to see. So that's a bread knife, that's a hunting knife, so I want the hunting knife, I don't want the bread knife. Alright, we execute, which means we don't have more aggro right here. Grab our extra knife, because we'll need it. Hear all the zombies in there banging on the doors. Eventually they will break them down. That's fine. I don't intend on using it as a safe place to stay, so I don't care. Excuse me, sir. Sir? Oh, you have a friend. I didn't see your friend. And that's why we back up, because it very easily could have been grabbed there. I didn't do a good job of it, but you know, it worked out. Okay, and I guess this is a good time to remind everyone that I do have a filter on OBS that increases the gamma for all of you about 20-25%. So when I say it's dark, it is really dark. I do that deliberately because I just feel like night should be a meaningful mechanic. That's just a personal opinion. But I know that makes for very terrible viewership for people watching the stream, so I go ahead and I turn up the brightness for everyone. Alright, and let me just go ahead and knock out those push-ups. So I'll do that real fast, it'll take me just a minute. It also lets me kill a little bit of time before we go to sleep so we wake up during daylight and not at night. So I'll be right back after those push-ups. And if my count is right, there's only 3 more push-up redemptions left for the stream. And we're only 3 hours into the stream. You're all on the ball today with those. Because there is a total of 10 redemptions per stream. So 10 push-ups each, so 100 push-ups per stream. And I backed up just in case it considered me too close to the bodies. But I do hope everyone's been having a lovely day so far. And thank you for everyone who has been tuning in, who's been lurking, who's been chatting, who's been following, subscribing, doing the bits, the hosts, the donos, the raids, all of that good stuff. It all helps, and I really do appreciate it. I do hope you are enjoying the stream. And while we're nowhere near wrapping up or anything, like that's not for a number of hours from now,